The video begins with a woman sweeping the sidewalk. A girl who calls her aunt arrives and asks her if she would have some rice and beans for her to eat, saying she is hungry and has not gotten a job. The aunt responds to Louise by saying that she is not obliged to support her, and asking her to leave there, that she has a family to take care of and support as well. Louise asks again, promising that she will return everything she takes once she gets a job, which really is very hungry. Her aunt says no again, asks why her niece doesn't look for a job to improve her life. That since her mother left to be with God, Louise keeps showing up at her door. She then asks why she doesn't do the same to her relatives on her mother's side and if they no longer exist. Louise, already with tears in her eyes, asks her aunt please, saying she has no one else to turn to. Her aunt starts beating her with the broom as if she were a stray animal and continues to sweep the sidewalk. We see the scene cut and Louise greeting her uncle, who without batting an eye is rude by asking her what she wants in her house. Louise says she doesn't want to bother him, but that she wanted to know if he could lend her 10 reis, and that her uncle once again responds to her by failing politely, asking if she's mad because she thinks he's going to lend her money knowing the difficult situation she's in. Louise tries to explain herself by saying she's only asking because she's so hungry. She asks that if there's anything left over from her uncle's house lunch will also serve, that she really is hungry. Her uncle then asks if she really wants food for her to eat the garbage in her hand and starts throwing the garbage at her niece, saying he needed to have a lot of patience with her and telling her to work, before throwing the bag and slamming the door in her face. The scene cuts again and we see Louise sitting at a table and opening the bag her uncle threw at her. Opening the bag, she finds a cookie still closed and decides to eat it. The scene once again changes. Louise, now with other clothes and resume in hand, begins to go into establishments looking for one that will accept her as an employee. We see a lady in a wheelchair selling lottery tickets on the street. When she decides to cross the street, Louise, who sees, asks her to wait, that she will help her cross the street. The lady thanks, telling Louise that she is very kind. Louise is careful not to hurt the lady, but helps her cross the street. She is happy and says that the lady is in a safe place. She responds by thanking her once again, saying that there are few people who help a person like her. The girl asks the lady not to worry, that she only did what her heart commanded, but that she needs to go. The woman asks her to wait, saying that she will give something to the girl for the help she has given her. She gives Louise a lottery ticket, telling her luck to go with her. The girl thanks, but says she doesn't have much luck with these things, saying that poor people have no luck with it. She thanks them once again. The lady asks her not to say that. Well, that is the kick for her luck to change, that life will surprise her. The lady asks where she goes in such a hurry. Louise responds by saying she needs to get a job, otherwise she won't be able to stand the hunger she's feeling. The woman asks her not to worry, that as her mother said, where they eat one, they eat two, that she will share her lunch with the girl. Louise, with tears in her eyes, says that the woman doesn't need to do that, that she won't take the food from her. The lady tries to reassure her that she has already had lunch, that this is just a snack she brought, that the girl can eat, yes, and hands over the bag that is hers. Louise thanks her and says she will never forget what the lady is doing for her. The girl finally introduces herself, but says she really needs to go get a service. The woman says that she understands and presents herself as nieceImagine and tells the girl to go with God, who is sure that that ticket will change his luck. Louise thanks him again and leaves. nieceImagine goes back to screaming, selling her tickets. We see the scene cut and his two uncles appear. The man asks if the aunt is sure of what they promised the girl's mother, that they would take care of her. The woman says she is sure, that she will not be paying the electricity bill for that brat to be using. The man says he is going to cut off the water and for the woman to cut the power. They do as they say and his uncle laughs, happy that his niece has no more water in her house. Louise, returning from her job search, meets with Mrs. NieceImagine once again, she asks if she can help with anything. The woman replies that she doesn't need anything, but thanks her. She then asks if the girl looks at the note she gave her. She says she hasn't looked and hands the note to the lady. nieceImagine says that the number of the winner appeared in the newspaper and that she even wrote it down so as not to forget, so that they can see if it is possible. The girl says there's no way she could have won. People like her aren't lucky. nieceImagine keeps telling them to see that it costs nothing to look at the numbers, that she will speak the numbers and the girl checks on her ticket. They then begin. Nissa reading the numbers, and Louise replying to have in each number spoken and her expression changing to happiness. Louise happily says she won. nieceImagine is extremely happy for the girl and they hug. The happy woman says she is a winner. But Louise confidently asks what if that's a mistake. nieceImagine says that there is no mistake, that the girl really won, and even shows the numbers for her to confirm. When checking, she sees that she really is right and gets excited again. The lady says that Louise is now a millionaire. Louise says she doesn't believe this is happening to her. The girl thanks God for that gift. nieceImagine tells the two of them to go to a lottery house to see it soon. Louise starts pushing the woman in her wheelchair. We then see the uncle walking back and forth stressed. The aunt then responds by saying that it is no use for him to stay that way, that it is not because she is his sister that she is obliged to lend him money. The man responds by saying that the other times it was for superfluous things and that now it was to be able to pay for things from his house, saying that he cannot lose his house. The sister responds by saying that he should have thought of that sooner, that she's not obligated to keep giving him money, that he should have set aside his money to pay his bills. The man replies that they no longer have his brother to help him and that when his sister needed help he helped without a second thought, and that now she disdains. The woman responds by saying that she has a house to keep, that she has children to take care of, that she has a family, and that if he doesn't it is his problem, so that he does not keep filling his patience, so that he goes looking for a job. The man tells Letitia, his sister, that she is his only family, that his house is at stake if she really won't help him. She says she's already told him no, for him to sit up and stop pestering her. She goes back to fiddling with her phone. He despairs even more, saying that he has no more money in the bank and that relatives are like this. At the time he needs no one help. Letitia says that it is no use complaining and tells him to sit down again because it is hindering her. Saying he doesn't believe it and telling his brother, Leandro, to see the screen of his cell phone. He sees that his niece has won the lottery and without a second thought says that it will solve his problem. Letitia says that after everything they've done to her, she doesn't think her niece will want to help them both. Leandro asks how we were his sister who denied her food. He didn't do any of that. Letitia laughs and tells her brother not to pass himself off as a saint, which he even threw at the girl. He says that it was in the past, that he's sure she won't keep hurt. We see Louise with nieceImagine, with her saying she never imagined that she would one day leave her home, where she was raised. nieceImagine responds, saying that no one ever imagines that they will go through these things. Louise says that it is true, that she knows that now will be a new beginning for both her and the lady, who will pay for all the treatment of Mrs. nieceImagine so that she can walk again, because if it were not for the lady, she would not be rich now. nieceImagine thanks the girl, but says that the money is hers, that she has to know what she is going to invest in. Louise responds by saying that nieceImagine doesn't need to worry, that one of her investments is to be able to see her walk again. We see the two uncles running up to them. When her aunt arrives at her side, she greets the aunt's princess. Her aunt responds by saying that she missed her and that she has a room in her house left over if she wants, that she will prepare a tea that she loves. Leandro tells his niece not to fall for the conversation of his aunt. Louise tells him to drop his backpack and that he doesn't need help. Letitia tells her brother to stop it. What a fake he is, he who doesn't help even his wife. Leandro says that this is hypocrisy of his sister, that she learned that her niece won the lottery and is now trying to please her. His aunt asks if his brother isn't doing the same. Leandro goes on to say that his sister does not know how to deal with money, that if she keeps her niece's money she will roast everything, to leave it to him, that he will help her. Letitia laughs and says that her brother was asking her for money just a little while ago, and she didn't know how to manage her money. Says she doesn't need anyone to take care of her money, let alone her, The moment she needed it most, they left her alone. Niceanya agrees with the girl, saying that she told him the story, that the two of them should be ashamed. Leandro once again tries to lie, saying he has always helped her, that he has always fed her and never denied her anything. Louise tells him to stop his lies. She asks if he forgot that the last time he went to his house his uncle threw garbage at him. Letitia then tries to explain herself by saying that on the day that her niece asked her for food, she could not give, that if she gave her husband she would be without and that her children too, but that her aunt's situation has improved, that if her niece wants it, saying he will prepare a tapioca, the tea he likes and even a carrot cake, saying he knows what his niece likes. Louise says she doesn't want anything that comes from the two of them, that they've excluded her from their lives and that they can forget she exists. She says that the only person who deserves her respect is that lady, who has been in her worst and best moments of her life even though she is not her relative. Letitia responds by telling her to give value to that woman who is not even relative, saying it is her brother's fault. Leandro responds saying it is not his fault but his sister who denied a plate of food to the girl. Letitia says she won't touch the subject because her brother threw garbage at her. She then walks off.